All right, this is Diesel Weed People News. One more time at it. Not attorney, not giving legal advice. Why? Because I never signed a contract to be a bar member and dumb myself down. I want to be armed with my Second Amendment of knowledge. Okay? And I never just look straight forward. I always look around me to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. Best advantage of being pro se is you call them out on the crap. Okay? Attorneys get scared of losing their wink wink license because the judge has weight when you file a bar grievance. Now it falls in deaf ears when it's normal little peons file a bar grievance on attorneys or a judicial complaint on the judges, and it stays on deaf ears. But by gosh, when an attorney files a judicial complaint or the judicial files a bar grievance complaint, it has weight. Okay? And this is the reason why I always tell you guys we need to learn how to do a petition, a redress of our grievance, go directly to the legislature and demand them to actually start the proceedings of impeachment of judges. And Congress, we need to learn how to do a petition to impeach the federal judges. We just sit there and just ignore everything and sit on our ass and do nothing. And then we wonder why and we scratch our head. Oh, why do I keep on losing my rights? It's because we don't stand up. And then we operate in hearsay with attorneys, people. Now, don't mean all attorneys are bad. There's a couple attorneys out there on the YouTube world I like. But in generally, I don't never see them in court, so I don't know what their standing is in court. On YouTube, it may be totally different than outside of YouTube, or outside of the realm of YouTube. They may be in a courtroom and be totally different than I expect, right? The closest one, Grisham, I really like him. Okay, so he's blunt, direct, and all that. And let's go ahead and proceed forward. I'm yapping. Sorry about that, people.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27 matters.
Let's back that up a little bit.
Right. And Lord Bench, let me know when you're ready for the next, for Mr. Roy's case, and then I'll step off. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27 matters. Those are case numbers 676-175, 671-384, 669-329, 676-216, 656-749, 675-405, 656-748, 676-463, 676-492, and 676-207. These are the kURT bench matters.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
I'm employed with DD. Just so the record is clear on all of these cases, I'm appointed to case 676-463, 675-405, 676-216, 676-175, 671-384, 676-492, and 676-207. Previously, with regards to case 675-405, Mr. Benchoof was granted his pro se motion, so the portal indicates that there is a notice of withdrawal on myself. However, still appears that I enlisted as attorney of record for that one, but I have the attorney of record for the other cases that I just said. For the court, I do not have 3-4 authorization to do anything or address these cases.
Okay. Just as a preliminary matter, so Mr. Roy, if okay, so I know that, okay, so I'm looking at my screen here. So you've noted Mr. Bench was per se on 656-749, but would it make sense for the court to direct appoint you on, there, it looks like there are 2 cases where no counsel is, let's see, that would be 669-329 and 656-748. I don't see any counsel noted. Would it make sense to appoint you so that you have, or would you try not to?
I do not have his authority for that, Your Honor.
Okay, I I understand. Okay. All right. So, okay. So the court understands that these are all pretrial cases, correct? Is that right? Okay. And that Mr. Benchoof is in custody and is refused court today. Mr. Roy, just another question too that perhaps you can or cannot answer. The court had some information that perhaps that competency was raised as an issue in another at King County Superior Court. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, Your Honor, that was raised sua sponte in King County Superior Court.
Okay.
And I believe that there has been a finding of returning of the comp.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. Okay, so at this point then, City, what would you like to do with, what do you suggest we do with Mr. Benchoof's cases?
The city would just ask that the court have a short set over for these cases and exclude any time between now and the next court date.
Okay. Okay, now I wasn't able to go through each of these in detail. I think that makes sense to set these over and exclude time. Are these all on the same time for speedy trial calendar, or are they all different? I guess, Mr. Roy, do you know that offhand?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay.
September 3rd.
I'm sorry, clerk?
So that would have September 3rd as speedy expiration.
As expiration September 3rd? Okay. I'll have to, okay, so let's do this. Okay, so there's an issue here where I believe that the other judges have had to recuse themselves, some of the pro tems as well. I, at this point, can still hear Mr. Benchoof's cases, so I don't know if I have a choice except to set these. Let's see, Lord Bench, what is our Monday? Let me just see what our Monday pretrial calendar looks like, because this, I'll take a look too.
Now, if you heard, and some of you guys may not have seen the other videos previous with him, okay? They recuse herself because he, for the past 4 years, been fighting these things in court with Seattle. And he is suing the judges a breach of their oath of office and jurisdiction issues and all this kind of stuff. So he's in the process of suing some of these judges or magistrates, okay, and some of the attorneys as well. So there's been, in fact, some prosecutor attorneys are in this lawsuit, and they keep on having to switch out attorneys. They had to keep on switching out judges with this man because, well, you know, they're causing harm and loss and damages, and he keeps calling them out. And this is pro se, people. This is the power of pro se, because nobody is going to stand up with the unjust. And the prosecutors have been unjustly going after him, which is what they call Seattle, Washington. You know, that's the reason why they said city, right? The city that don't know how to speak and say, hey, I'm being harmed. Somehow or another, this man that's called a city is all of a sudden got the kingship of being a city. All right, let's go.
Mr. Roy, did you have a preference on the new date?
No, I have a preference, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, August 5th.
Yep.
Yeah, 26 out of 29 cases.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to, let's see, give me just one more moment, please. Okay, I'm wondering if it makes sense to set them in the afternoon instead. Mr. Roy and Mr. O'Brien, if I set these, because it's such a big number of cases, my pretrial calendar looks pretty full on Monday morning. Right now I've got 2 contested revocation hearings for the afternoon. Would that work for both of you if I did that instead of setting it in the morning?
That would work for the city, Your Honor.
Mr. Roy, would that work for you?
Works for defense.
Okay. All right, Lord Bench, let's do this. I'll do a special set all of Mr. Bench's pre-trials for August 5th at 1:30, please. Okay, and then the court is going to exclude time. I'm going to need to look at these more closely and figure out exactly where that puts us. Hello, Moto.
Yeah, I don't get paid for these videos. It's for my education. And I'm not out here to do profits or anything like that, making money off of it. It's for my educational purposes. And so therefore, that's their money for the other YouTube channel. And they keep what they earn.
Okay, so Lord Bench, do you need some time to do this? Okay.
I know this is boring, but this is how much airspace there is. They're not even organized to keep this rolling. And they want this thing to hurry up, and they tell you to hurry up. But yet they sit there, what are we doing? Having all this airtime. And I don't know, this stuff is ridiculous, y'all. Even though he's not in there, how much airspace there is. And this is the reason why judges don't even know what's going on. They don't even read their case before it comes up the day. They have it on the docket, but they don't never read the cases. And actually has some part of understanding until the very end of the moment. Right? They'll go through the documents at that particular time. When they should be fully aware, even the day prior, or periodically check out the list and read it.
That'll help me so I can move on. Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, let's see, Mr. Roy, was there anything else, or Mr. O'Brien?
Only thing from me, Your Honor, just so the record's clear here. The case the pro se motion was granted on was 675405. That's all I have.
Okay. You know, Mr. Roy, I have Mr. Benshu pro se on 656749. Is that not correct? And then I have you representing him on 675405.
So when these cases were first warrant status, I was only assigned to one, and that was 675405. And when that first hearing happened, Mr. Vinshu's motion was granted, and I was withdrawn from the case. and I believe that I was appointed to several other cases after that, and that is why I am appointed to the other cases here.
Okay. This is very confusing here.
Yeah, she's saying it's very confusing. Why is it confusing if you looked at this previous? What, you should have already had this done, Your Honor. Okay? And this is not the first case you attend with that I'm aware of. But again, she should be checking out these documents before court so that at least she has some type of understanding what's going on ahead of her.
Okay, I'm sorry, you might be talking in circles, but can you just, so from your perspective on 656-749, what do you believe he's pro se or that you're representing him on that one?
I do not have noticed that I've been appointed today.
Okay, all right, okay, so I think that he is. Okay. All right, but okay, in any event, yes, the court is excluding time from all of the cases, whether or not Mr. Roy is representing Mr. Benchif on these, because he is not here today and there's no 3-4 authorization. So, okay, and as I was saying, I need to go back over these to figure out where we are exactly with expiration. It might be helpful if the parties want to do that, do their own calculations as well, so we can compare. I will try and have that information for Monday. Okay, all right, and so we'll go ahead then and conclude Mr. Benchif's cases at this point. Thank you.
So even then, she just purely said that he had to be there to give authorization for that attorney to be there. But these judges keep on asking for, well, I need to make sure you're okay to be competent to do this. Well, who gave you that authority, judge, to make that decision? Second Amendment or the Sixth Amendment says, I have a right to counsel, or I could, do it on my own. I don't need a hearing to say if I'm competent. All I have to do is just say I am. And I don't have to go see a psychiatrist. All right. This is With People News. Bye, y'all.